So question 2, we've got a small stone which is projected vertically upwards. Here's the stone and here's its initial speed of 39.2 meters per second. It rises in the air, comes to a brief halt and then starts to descend, falling freely under gravity for all of this travel, so it's not influenced by any other force. Using the model, we've got to find the height of its starting position, which is O, above the ground, which is here. So I've set up my SUVAT variables. I've put on the acceleration, which is downwards at 9.8 meters per second squared. And we've got to choose a direction for SUVAT to work in. And I'm going to choose upwards as positive. Having chosen that as positive, this is a positive quantity, this is a negative quantity, and the displacement we need after 10 seconds, the h here, is in fact negative. So this is equal to negative h. The u is positive, 39.2. The v we don't care. The acceleration is negative 9.8 meters per second squared, and the time is 10. So I need an equation which equates all this lot. And the equation is S is equal to ut plus a half at squared. So plugging in my variables, this is part A. So I get minus h is equal to u times t, which is 10 times this, which is 392. Half of a, remember a is negative 9.8, so this is negative 4.9 multiplied by t squared is 10, so this is 100. So negative h is equal to 392 minus 490. So therefore h is equal to 98 meters. And that's the answer to part A. So part B, we've been asked the total length of time for which the speed of the stone is less than or equal to 24.5 meters per second. So what is this stone going to do? It's going to start off at a speed of 39.2, which is greater than our speed. It will effectively slow down, go through our 24.5 meters per second speed, keep slowing down, it will reach a speed of 0, then that speed will change direction and start speeding up. At that same point, it will achieve another speed of 24.5, but this time in the other direction, and then continue downwards until it hits the ground. So I've marked this point 24.5 meters per second here. So on this journey, it will be upwards, and on this journey, it will be downwards. So the time we need is the time from this point up to its maximum height and then back down again until it accelerates again to this same speed, from which point it is always going to be faster than 29.5. So let's consider SUVAT from this initial speed to a final velocity of 0, because at this point the particle will stop momentarily before it goes back down again. So if we do SUVAT on this part of its journey, multiply it by 2, that will be our answer. So another SUVAT. And again, let's choose upwards as positive, filling in the blanks. Well, S we don't really care about. The U is 24.5. The v is 0. The acceleration again is minus 9.8 meters per second squared, and the t is what we need to know. So we need an equation that links u, v, a, and t. And one of the motion equations says v equals u plus at. Filling in the blanks, we get 0 is equal to 24.5 plus, well, let's write minus 9.8 multiplied by t. So therefore 9.8t is equal to 24.5, and therefore t is equal to 24.5 divided by 9.8, and this turns out to be 2.5 seconds. But yeah, this is only half the journey. So the total time that p is travelling at less than or equal to 24.5 meters per second is 2 times 2.5, which is equal to 5 seconds. And that's the answer to part B. So part C is one of these silly questions, really. State one refinement that could be made to the model to make your answer more accurate. Well, I think what it means is more realistic, more aligned with the real world. So to make this model more accurate, you'd have to say that the stone shouldn't be modelled as a particle. That would be one. Air resistance would be another one. But these make the maths much more complicated. Let's stick with the particle argument. So words similar to those will get you your 1 mark.